What is going on, everybody? It's RGP back with another performance review. This one may be a little longer than 4 minutes because there's a lot to talk about with the Harden Volume 7. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it and see how these perform for me on court. First up, let's talk about the sizing and the fit just a little bit. I did go down half a size from my normal true size, but really and truly, I usually go down half a size almost in any of my basketball sneakers. But normally when I get an Adidas basketball shoe, I usually go down half a size anyway. For whatever reason, they do fit me a little bit long normally. So I usually do, as I said, go down half a size initially or anyways when I do get a new Adidas basketball shoe. So nothing new for me. I would recommend just going with whatever size you normally get in Adidas basketball sneakers. Next up, let's talk about the traction just a little bit here. The traction did perform very, very well on all surfaces. I did not test these outdoors, but what I mean by that is dusty courts, clean courts, whatever it may be. These performed very well straight out of the box. I had no issues, no real break in time, anything like that. As you can see on this colorway here, you do have a translucent outsole. I'm not sure if they're all translucent. I would say probably most colorways are a translucent outsole. It is a little bit colored, as you can see on there as well. But overall, it performed very, very good for me. As I said, no issues starting, stopping, cutting, whatever it may be, you're good to go from a traction standpoint in the Harden Volume 7. Moving on to the cushion, so straight up, I'll go ahead and tell you this is a very comfortable basketball shoe. On court, off court, I could recommend these as a casual shoe if you just like how they look. But overall, on court, these did feel very, very good, and it is a very comfortable basketball sneaker, one of the most comfortable that I've tested here most recently. And I actually really like the setup to these. You do have a boost midsole along with light strike cushioning. It feels very, very good on court, on foot, and I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed with how these feel. You do get a great amount of court feel along with a good amount of cushion as well. It's a great mix, and it almost feels near perfect on the court. I really liked the setup and how it felt in general, and I just think that overall it's just really good how they went about with these. You don't have an oversaturated mix with the boost. A lot of times when boost first came out on basketball sneakers, I had a lot of issues with it being too plush, but they've really fixed that since then, and they really did well with the setup on these, and I think that overall you're going to really like the setup and how these feel on court from a cushion standpoint. Moving on to the materials here, I had no issues whatsoever from a material standpoint. I actually really liked how they felt on court. Once again, the materials helped the shoe also be very comfortable, and they felt really good on foot. You do have pretty much a textile upper, but with this actual colorway, what Adidas is calling it is almost the upper to the shoe is almost like a puffer jacket. And then along the toe box area, I don't know if you remember on some of the Harden Volume 1s, it basically had like a leather piece that ran across the toe box. I'm not going to say this is actual leather, but it kind of gives off that look or vibe as the Harden Volume 1s did, but this actual colorway seems to be maybe a little bit more on the premium side of the materials than I have seen on some of the other pairs or colorways, but I did really like these. The one downfall to these is, from a material standpoint, is that I did get stepped on quite a bit and so on and so forth, and they do scrape up just a little bit on these actual materials on this pair or colorway. I don't know if you'll have the same issues on some of the other colorways, like that all red pair is definitely a little bit different material use on those. So if that's something you're into, or maybe wondering about taking these outdoors, whatever it may be, that may be something to look into on which actual colorway you get. But overall, I was very impressed. Really liked the materials on the actual pair that I did get. Next up, let's go over this lockdown as quick as possible. I don't have a whole lot of time left here. So initially, I was very worried that the lockdown or containment of the shoe was going to be a little bit weak or something I did not like. I was very, very wrong about that. So initially, when you put this sneaker on, it's going to feel very wide. But when you initially put your foot in, you've got like this booty type construction that almost feels like a sock liner throughout the whole entire sneaker that you're putting your foot in. You are able to pull that piece up very nice above your ankle if you would like, and that's basically how I did it. You have an extra eyelet that does it. These sneakers do not come laced in. I used that extra eyelet as well, so I was able to get these up to a tightness of my liking, I will say, and I was able to do that. Now, when you get the shoe on, it does feel very, very wide at first. You feel very wide in the sneaker when you go out playing in it, but it goes away very quickly. It starts feeling like a normal basketball sneaker, and it was something that I didn't actually notice whatsoever when I started playing in them. Upon initial try on, I was like, I don't know about these, but like I said, I went ahead and gave them a try, went out and played them, and didn't notice it whatsoever. I actually thought the lockdown and containment was a very strong aspect to the shoe. It was probably my favorite aspect besides the traction. The traction is really, really good on this actual pair, but the second favorite thing, or my second favorite thing, had to either be the lockdown or the comfort. Overall, you're getting a great basketball shoe, and I would not hesitate to try out the Harden Volume 7. I know I pretty much just ended that last segment with overall how the shoe is, but let's break down overall just a little bit more. Don't think you're going to be disappointed with this shoe whatsoever from any aspect. I really like these overall. I think it's a very fun shoe to play basketball in. One that's going to be my bag as my backup pair as I'm starting to test other pairs, so on and so forth. If I want to switch, it'd probably be back to these. Am I going to say overall that it's my favorite pair of the last year or anything like that? I'm not going to go quite that far at this very moment or time, but I will say I really, really like this pair. I really like playing in these. It's very, very fun shoe to play in. And as I said before, if you're worried about these on court for whatever reason it may be, don't be hesitant to try these out. If you don't like them, obviously send them back, whatever it may be. But I do think that you're going to be very impressed with these. The look is a little different at first, but I think overall it's going to grow on you as you see these in hand. And it's just a very fun shoe to play basketball in. I don't know if you remembered when initial images came out of these, I was sharing photos like crazy saying that this is going to be a really, really good basketball sneaker. And overall, very happy with these. I think you will be too. Give them a shot. Don't hesitate away from them for whatever it may be. It is a very, very good, fun shoe to play basketball in.